Hey y'all, I'm Frida. I'm a sexual health educator at the Young Women's Resource Center. And in this video, we're gonna be learning a little bit about menstrual products. So in our other video, we talked about menstruation, what happens in the body when somebody has their period, when somebody starts their period. And now we're gonna talk a little bit about the different types of products that people might choose to use while they're on their period. So typical menstrual cycle is about 28 days. So that means that like every 28 days around that time, so like once a month, somebody's gonna have their period. And basically what happens when you're on your period is blood is gonna come out of the vaginal opening, the vagina, right? And so these are just some options that people might choose to use while they're menstruating, while they're bleeding, to help like manage that blood, that period, to make sure that, you know, nobody gets stains on their clothes or on their bed sheets or anything like that. And just like other things with our bodies, you get to pick what's most comfortable for you, right? So what's right for you and your body might be different from somebody else's body, and that's totally fine. So we're gonna start over here. These are called panty liners. So the way that these work, they might look like this, they might look like this, and these are pretty thin. So they're great to use if there's not like a super heavy flow on your period. And they're pretty small. And the way that they work is one side is absorbent and soft, it's made out of cotton, and the other side is sticky. So the sticky part is gonna go ahead and like stick to your underwear, and then this nice soft cotton part is where it's gonna collect like the blood and the menstrual fluid. These are, yeah, really awesome to use if you have like a pretty light flow, if there's not a whole lot of like blood and menstrual fluid coming out of your body. Another option that people really like to use, especially when they were just kind of starting their period, are pads. So pads work exactly the same way as panty liners, except they're a little bit bigger, right? So pads stick, again, to the sticky side goes on your underwear, and some come with wings like this. And so these like little wings are gonna go ahead and fold around like the outside of your underwear just to hold the pad in place throughout the day. Sometimes when people first start their periods, it might not come at the same time every month, and that's totally normal. So for the first like 2 years that you're on your period, it might come at like slightly different times throughout the month, which is totally fine. But that's why some people like to use panty liners or pads if they think their period might be coming, or just to like be a little extra safe. So both of these you can leave on for different amounts of time, kind of depending on how heavy, how much blood and fluid is coming out of your body, but it's not recommended to leave a pad on for more than 8 hours. So you really want to make sure that you're changing it. And the way that you do that is you just like peel it off of your underwear when it's got blood on it, when it's time to put on a new one. And you can just wrap it up in the wrapper or in toilet paper and throw it away in a trash can in the bathroom. And pads come in different sizes. So like this one is pretty big. This one is an overnight pad. So it's really long and it's really thick and absorbent. So this is something that someone might choose to sleep in because it can last a little bit longer. It can absorb blood if you're like rolling around in your bed at night. So those are things that go like outside of our bodies when we're menstruating. The other option is to collect the blood inside the body before it even leaves it. And there are a few different options for that. So a really popular one are tampons. People like to wear these sometimes if they're playing sports, if they're maybe going swimming or something on their period. Some people just like tampons because they just think they're easier the way that they feel. Like some people prefer pads, some people prefer tampons. Again, it's totally your choice. So the way that tampons work is it unwraps. So this is just the wrapper, like the pad, it's just garbage. And then it comes with an applicator. So this applicator is made out of cardboard. Some of the applicators are made out of plastic. It's just like different products, different brands have different ones. So the way that the applicator works is the top part, this part with the tampon, gets inserted into the vagina, and there's like nice little ways to hold it right there. And then the bottom part just gets pushed up on, and that's gonna insert the tampon into the vagina. And then the applicator gets thrown away as well, just like the wrapper. And then the tampon just sits in the vaginal canal, and it's actually gonna expand a little bit as it's absorbing fluid, which is kind of cool. So it expands and it absorbs, and it's made out of cotton, just like pads are. So it's the same sort of absorption. This just happens on the inside of the body instead of the outside like pads. And then this like handy dandy little string actually hangs out of the vaginal opening. So when it's been about like 6 to 8 hours or maybe sooner, and you're ready to change your tampon, what you do is you just pull on the string and the tampon pulls out, and just like a pad, you wrap it up and you throw it away. It's pretty easy. So tampons should not hurt. A lot of people get nervous. They think that maybe using a tampon is gonna hurt. But if it's inserted properly, you really shouldn't even feel it in your body. And if it feels uncomfortable or a little bit painful, just go ahead and take it out and try again, because it probably means that the tampon isn't inserted far enough into the vagina. So that's a tampon, and these are disposable, which means you use it once and you throw it away. Another option for an internal way to collect menstrual blood and menstrual fluid is called a disc. And this is kind of a newer one. So this is a menstrual disc, and similar to the tampon, it just gets inserted inside of the vagina, and it actually sits at this really cool point in your pubic bone, kind of right before the cervix, where the menstrual blood leaves the uterus, and it's just gonna collect menstrual blood inside this cool little clear cup. And this can actually last up to 12 hours. So some people prefer to use these because they last a little bit longer than tampons. Again, it's your body, so it's your choice. You get to choose the product that works the best for you. These are also disposable, which means that after you use it once, you throw it away, just like a tampon, just like a pad. And then the last option for collecting menstrual blood is called a menstrual cup. And this is what they look like. These are reusable, which means you don't throw them away after every use. You can actually wash them and use them again. And I think they can last up to something like 10 years. So that's like a lot of periods that you can use it for. So the way that it works, it's pretty similar to a tampon. It just gets folded up and inserted inside the vagina, and it just sits there. You can use this for probably about 8 hours as well, similar to a tampon. And the menstrual fluid and menstrual blood just fills up inside the cup. And then when you're ready to change it, it just pulls out like a tampon from the bottom, and you dump it out and you rinse it out, and then it can be reinserted. And some people like to use these because it does save money in the long run, right? You don't have to buy a bunch of different tampons or pads or menstrual cups. You only need like one. Some people like it because it doesn't produce as much waste as other menstrual products, right? Like there's not all this plastic, these wrappers, it doesn't get thrown away every time. Or again, some people just prefer the way that this feels to other menstrual products. But again, you have all these different options, right? So you get to pick the menstrual product that works the best for your body, that you're most comfortable with. And if you ever need any of these things, we have them all at the Young Women's Resource Center. You can come and pick them up for free anytime. Give us a call, shoot us an email, we'll make sure that you get these.